What is up, players? It's WarbossTae up in his mug. I know I haven't made videos in quite some time. I've been hard at work on this commission, and I wanted to showcase the models that I've been painting in a couple of separate videos. So I'm going to be doing two videos, one for each of the boxes of special characters that I painted up, because when you purchase these miniatures, you would do so in separate box sets. So the first one is going to be for the special guest Gipi, and this is for the Zombicide Black Plague game by Guillotine Games and Cool Mini or Not. So this is the special guest Gipi, or Gianni Passanati, and I'm sorry if I got that name wrong. I really love these miniatures. These are some of my favorite sculpts for single pose miniatures. Each one of them is so different from the next, and as a painter, I really enjoyed that each model looked different, and it was a great pleasure to paint them. So let's start with this guy, the Little Prince. What I'm going to be doing is little background videos for each of these guys, and what their fluff and history is. I'm going to be putting those up on my Patreon, but these are just to show you kind of how I painted them and give you my thoughts on them. So for most of the figures, the skin tones, I used the Fairy paint set, or the Fairy Flesh set from Vallejo, and it comes with a great variety of different kind of paints for skin tones, and I found them to be a lot easier to work with than any other paint ranges that I've used. So here's the Little Prince, and I love that he's kind of scrawny. He's got a little bit of a pot belly, and he looks like a feisty little, Weasley little guy. I painted a little bit of a gray shadow around his belly and on his chest to simulate, I guess, some body hair, without making it look as, I guess, like thick and as coarse as his 5 o'clock shadow, his stubble, which I also did. So there's him. Next I've got Pipino. I don't think I did a video on Pipino when I finished painting him. It was so much fun to paint this guy because he looks like, he reminds me of Homer Simpson a little bit. He's got a little bit of a paunch. The legs are very scrawny and skinny, but he's looks a little bit overweight and pudgy. You can see the flab kind of hanging over his elbows. I think the sculpt was really great. And check it out, ladies. Woo, butt cheeks. So this guy, I wanted to do something a little bit different with his armor. I wanted to do some really aged, corroded, and weathered weapon and armor kind of look. So what I did was, I think I used Warp Lock Bronze from Games Workshop. That was first, and then 2 coats of Agrax Earthshade to dull it down, take away all that shine. And then I used Nihilak Oxide, and that was really good for the shoulder pad there, and also for the weapon. And yeah, he came out really great. Again, I did the skin tones using the Fairy Flesh set. So he's I think he was one of my like really favorite models. These two are the last for this box. Let's go with Donna Carlotta first. I think she came out, she's one of my favorite models that I painted because her skin tones I used, there are different ways of painting using the Fairy Flesh set. For most of the models I did what's called the natural skin look, and when you buy this set, it gives you kind of like instructions on, I guess, the different tones you can achieve. So I went with the natural colors first, and then I did, for Donna Carlotta, I did something different. I used the intense colors, and the intense colors are meant to give more of a very colorful and ruddy looking finish. And she definitely looks a lot brighter, a little bit more pink in the skin tone, which is what I wanted. I wanted her to look kind of soft and fleshy. Oh no, what is all this? A little bit of dust and debris on my shooting blanket here. To contrast the skin tone, I gave her dark robes, dark gold armor. I used for the armor, I think it was Viking gold from the gold set from, I think also from Vallejo. And it came out really nice. It's dark, almost blackish gold, and then I shaded that down and highlighted it back up with Stormhost Silver to give it a little bit of a shine. but not too much to take away from that very bright skin tone. Gave her bottom lip a little bit of Doombo brown for some contrast, and then painted in her eyes to look like she's kind of squinting and looking very derisively straightforward. Beautiful model, a lot of fun to paint. And finally, here is Celia La Santa. And I had a little bit of a difficult time with her. I used the Malefic skin set. I think if you've watched my previous video on her, you'll see that her skin tone is a little dark grayish purple. And I wanted to kind of contrast that a little bit, because the more I painted up her dress, the folds of her dress, which I used LA Talk Blue, Drakenhof Nightshade, and then for the highlights in the folds I used Fenrisian Gray to get a really nice contrast in the dress there. I decided to go back and go over the skin tones. So never be afraid, I guess, to kind of switch up what you're doing. And I guess that's my only piece of advice. I was a little, I don't want to say discouraged, but I kind of lost my way painting her skin tones, because she came out looking almost like a wraith or a zombie, and I'm not sure what her background is, but I thought like I'd want to make her a little bit more of a natural skin tone, so that it would look a little bit brighter up against that dress that she's got. So this is the Gipi box set for the Zombicide Black Plague game. So happy with how it turned out. I posted all of the pictures up on my Facebook and my Twitter, and give those a like if you feel inclined to go over there. And also, if you want to head over to the Patreon, I'm going to be posting up videos of each of their backgrounds, a little bit more of a put the model on a turntable, spin it around, and just talk about their background and history. If you like the looks of the models as much as I do, and you want to know a little bit more about their character and their fluff, I'll be posting those videos up within the next week or so. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, because next we're going to be going on to the Adrian Smith special guest box. And thanks for watching.